thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back! You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, and although it doesn't look like it, yes, I confess to having taped this entire week of outdoor-themed videos in the studio because of severe storm threats going on right now. That didn't dampen my spirit in any way, as I've been helping you bring Hollywood outdoors on a budget in the Great Outdoor Bargain-thon. And if I do say so myself, it's been a rather fun parade of content this week. Rachel Ray, Mickey Mouse, Curious George, Wildcrats, all of that now culminates in a wheel parade, or in this case a wheel parade program, and one you'll only see on TSR. This is the official souvenir program for the 126th edition of a New Year's Day tradition, the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Rose Parade, presented by Honda, Thursday, January 1st, 2015. Next to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York, and the Great Circus Parade in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, if you ever heard of that, on PBS. By the way, if you're not into clowns, go watch C-SPAN. They got some real clowns over there. The Rose Parade is a surefire way to enjoy the outdoors and see some inspiring stories in many floats and marching bands and one lively demonstration and performance down the road after another. Well, as we walk into New Year with Ryan Seacrest and Dick Clark in spirit, every New Year's Eve in Times Square or on TV if we can't make it to Times Square for the ball drop in New York City, we usher in New Year's Day at a more leisurely but no less lively pace with the Rose Parade. This Inspiring Stories program, the entire theme representing inspiring stories, retailed at $10 and was purchased at Value Village in Hawthorne for 75% off $1.99. If that isn't a price or a discount to parade about, you tell me what is. The Rose Parade means big business every New Year's Day for local and national and international TV broadcasters, including LA's very own KTLA Channel 5. This edition of the Rose Parade was co-hosted for the next to last time by the pair of Bob Eubanks and Stephanie Edwards. Joining them, KTLA's Micah Oman. Live coverage beginning at 6 a.m., live parade starting at 8 a.m. with parade encores all day. KTLA broadcasted locally. Nationally, it's broadcast on ABC, Hallmark Channel, and HDTV, Univision in Spanish, and internationally broadcasted on these key international outlets, including the Armed Forces Network. However, wherever you can get coverage of the Rose Parade, do so, because it really is an event not to be missed. That brings us to the Order of March, beginning with the Honda Sound Car and Acura Pace Car, and the presentation of the theme banner. Every Rose Parade has a theme. This theme represents inspiring stories. Chief among them, the Grand Marshal of this parade, who unfortunately passed away before it could begin. That would be Louis Zamperini. If you haven't heard of him, I'll give you a Cliff Notes version about who he was as we go forward. But we begin with the music-driven opening show presented by Honda and a special military flyover of the B-2 Spirit plane, which brings us into one of 5 chapters, and we'll go over each of them as we go along. This one is called Courage and Honor, and that represents major love for the armed forces. Louis Zamperini being among them. You remember Louis Zamperini, right? If not, you probably haven't seen the film Unbroken, directed by Angelina Jolie. He was a former Olympian, turned war hero, turned prisoner of war, and ultimate survivor, who passed away at the age of 97 before he was sent to take his place as the Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade. So, some of his immediate family members took his place as Grand Marshal, representing him with pride. An inspiration to us all. That's the Grand Marshal's family right there. Anyway, again, Courage and Honor represents major love for the armed forces. Army, Navy, military, Coast Guard, Air Force. Heritage and Vision represents some international flair with a lot of these floats and a lot of marching bands and performances. Community spirit and relationships is all about civic pride, LA life, California life, and as we go forward, here's one float that's rather amusing, and definitely no stranger to TSR, The Bachelor! Inspiring love. Nowadays, it's not so much inspiring love as it is trying to instigate it, but to no avail. In any event, representing the 29th love story set to premiere days after the parade on ABC would be Chris Soules on his journey to find love. We don't much talk about Chris Soules anymore, but the fact that The Bachelor had their own float in the Rose Parade is rather amusing to me. Oy, The Bachelor. No stranger to TSR, and I'm kind of neutral when it comes to it. But maybe they can have a Bachelorette float next time. And maybe get the likes of Caitlin Bristow or Andy Dorfman, who is my favorite, or the godmother of them all, the one who started it all, Trista Sutter. Anyway, this is Community Spirit and Relationships, which also features a heck of a lot of talk of the Rose Bowl game, which immediately follows the parade. The 101st Rose Bowl game. Chapter 4, Perseverance and Hope, really is a continuation of Courage and Valor, except it's ordinary people with extraordinary stories surviving insurmountable odds, such as breast cancer survivors and stuff of the like. People who survived AIDS and Sliders hospitals for children. Children who overcome life-threatening illnesses to take part in the parade. So that's what Perseverance and Hope is all about. And finally, Chapter 5, Imagination and Joy. This too really needs no explanation. It's imagination and joy. Plenty of whimsy, plenty of love displayed in all of these floats. Many of them adorning extraordinary displays of flowers and floral arrangements. Many of them are marching bands, many of them cheerleaders from local high schools. It's a nice mixture of flowers and real life covered into these floats, one after another. Speaking of floats, there's also a guide to the Float Awards. Awarding awards based upon best design, best use of flowers, best use of resources, best display of civic life in Los Angeles, in California, and in past, present, future America. You'll learn all about the Rose Queen and the Rose Court, Rose Princesses also being featured in the parade. Here's the closing show presented by Wells Fargo, and I will take you into the Rose Bowl game. There's a parting letter from Tournament of Roses President Richard L. Keenan, 2015 President, and a calendar of events which will lead you into the Rose Parade, and of course, the Rose Bowl game, the Post Parade, a showcase of floats, which will take place 2 or 3 days of the following weekend. Plus, there's even some photos from the lobby renovation at the Tournament of Roses headquarters. You'll also learn a lot more about Louis Zamperini in a couple of pages at the beginning of this book. This definitely is a TSR signature find because in our quest to bring Hollywood home on a budget, it doesn't get any more Hollywood and more outdoorsy in this case than this. And really, The Bachelor is what did it for me. Gotta be honest. It gets the max of 5 out of 5 claps. And by the way, the mosaic piece here on the cover, featuring one single rose, is actually comprised of a myriad of several of the volunteers in the Tournament of Roses who put in their time and effort to make sure that the Rose Parade goes off without a hitch. It's a neat little cover. So there you go, the Inspiring Stories souvenir program for the 126th Tournament of Roses Rose Parade. I don't know where the phrase Days of Wine and Roses came from, but this could be a good place of origin. We know The Bachelor didn't invent that for sure. If anything, right now it's giving that a pretty bad reputation. But in the end, all's fair in Days of Wine and Roses. Or in this case, Days of Coffee and Rose Parades that make a difference. Have a great weekend, and please get out there and do something. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.